The majority of us are aware of what an architect does. They're trained architects who create office buildings, residences, and other important constructions. Architects utilize their creativity and technical knowledge to create a blueprint for builders to follow. Meanwhile, architects play a similar function in the intangible realm of IT, only they build virtual resources. Their domain is electronic data processing, and their profession is divided into a number of various sorts of IT-related architects. Domain architects, solutions architects, enterprise architects, and security architects are just a handful of the many types of architects. Today, though, we'll focus on the data warehouse architect. This article will explain what a data warehouse architect is, what their roles and responsibilities are, what skills they require, how much they earn, and where they work today. What exactly is a data warehouse? We need to design a data warehouse first before we can figure out what a data warehouse architect performs. A data warehouse is a data management system that focuses on analytics and is meant to facilitate and assist business intelligence (BI) activities. Data warehouses are dedicated to querying and analyzing large amounts of historical data, and they often contain a lot of it. A data warehouse's data is often derived from a variety of sources, such as application log files and transaction programs. Information from data warehouses is essential for making informed business decisions. Okay, now that we've established what a data warehouse is, what is a data warehouse architect, and why should you care? What is a data warehouse architect and what do they do? Data warehouse architects are in charge of developing data warehouse solutions and working with standard data warehouse technology to design plans that best support a company or organization. Data warehouse architects usually consider the employer's or client's goals while designing a specific architecture that can be maintained by staff and used to accomplish the required goals. So, just as a regular architect creates a building or a naval architect builds a ship, data warehouse architects are in charge of designing and assisting with the launch of data warehouses, customizing them to match the needs of the client. But what exactly does that imply? Is the function limited to design work, or is there more to it? So, as it turns out, what does a data warehouse architect do? What are the roles and responsibilities of a data warehouse architect? A data architect's job description includes the following responsibilities and roles. Prepare a design for all information associated with different extract/transform/load (ETL) operations. Prepare designs for required database systems and make recommendations for performance enhancements. Assist with any data warehouse initiatives. Create various ETL processes and test them on the data. Define the data warehouse's metadata standards. Troubleshoot all ETL operations and effectively handle any difficulties that arise. Prepare and submit appropriate status reports to management. Examine each data warehouse architectural aim and determine what skills are required. To make the automation process work more smoothly, develop and maintain database scripts and tools. Prepare online analytical processing, OLAP, cubes and as many extract/transform/load operations as needed. Examine the current data infrastructure of the organization, identify gaps, and devise plans to integrate the current systems with the intended future model. Make logical as well as physical data models. Analyze all of the required data warehouse tasks and determine what resources are required. Evaluate all requests and recommendations, and assist in the implementation of the items that will improve the data warehouse structure. Monitor procedures and make plans to get all necessary metadata gathered and accessed faster. Develop and implement any project work plans that are required. In conclusion, data architects are in charge of envisioning and developing an enterprise data management architecture for a company. This framework should outline the procedures for creating, acquiring, using, planning, specifying, enabling, maintaining, retrieving, controlling, purging, and archiving data. Data architects are responsible for developing a strategy that aligns with the business's processes and involves the following: status of database development, designs for data models, implementation and maintenance of a data warehouse, implementation and administration of data analytics systems. What qualifications do data warehouse architects need? Data warehouse architects, as you can see from the long and stressful list of tasks and roles, have a lot on their plates. As a result, the ambitious data warehouse architect must have the necessary talents to do these jobs and meet all deadlines. A list of hard and soft talents that every data warehouse architect should ideally possess is as follows. Education and experience are both important. A bachelor's degree in information technology, computer science, or electronics engineering, as well as a few years of practical experience as a database administrator, solutions architect, software developer, or other comparable profession, is often required of aspiring data warehouse architects. It also helps to have some hands-on experience working as a data warehouse architect, whether through learning or mentoring. Certification. Although data warehouse architect certification is not required, it improves your knowledge and competence in the subject and may be a differentiator for a prospective job. Data warehouse architects need a wide understanding of data modeling, SQL, OLAP, and ETL, as well as hands-on expertise with at least one ETL tool, such as SIS. Data warehouse architects must have a working knowledge of a few buy and reporting platforms, as well as an understanding of industry trends and direction in buy/reporting of how it relates to a company's product strategies. SQL, PL/SQL, Python, COBOL, and JCL are among the programming languages that candidates should be familiar with. SQL Server and MySQL, Oracle, DB2, Netezza, and IMSDB are just a few of the database platforms that data warehouse architects should be familiar with. Machine learning and predictive analytics are essential skills for aspiring architects. Project management and source control systems such as Git, TFS, and Jira should be familiar to data warehouse architects. DevOps best practices and automation of activities like as construction, configuration, deployment, documentation, testing, and monitoring should be familiar to architects. Candidates must have a strong grasp of domains such as CRM, ERP, SCM, and infrastructure enablement systems. It's also beneficial if the candidate has some experience with project and product management, while this isn't required. Communication abilities. Applicants must be able to communicate effectively both in writing and orally. They should also be able to actively listen in order to assist senior management in making strategic decisions and providing advice on topics that will have an influence on the business, such as specialist technical challenges. Ability to work well with others in a group setting. Data warehouse architects must be able to work well with others. These abilities aid in project direction, mentoring of junior team members, and effective communication of the organization's chosen technologies and frameworks across all development teams.